What's crackin', movie trivia Schmoedown fans? It's your boy C-Dub, and today we got Eric Zipper taking on Haleigh Foutch. Zipper's coming off a big team win, so I know he's looking to keep his momentum going. Facing off against Haleigh Foutch, one of the nicest people in the Schmoedown. I do think in the end, Zipper will get the job done, but it's going to be a good match, so let's get started.
Mike Kalinowski has tied the game. Sudden death we go. Cruiser Ninko.
Ninka.
And July 20th, San Diego Comic-Con, you're going to see the inner Geekdom champion Rachel the Crusher Cushing. She will put that title on the line, and it will be against and your winner, Mike the Killer Kalinowski.
Comic-Con is the next defense is going to be. That's where we're going to be on the other side of that table getting that belt back.
You know, I want that belt. That belt was supposed to be mine. It was mine. It was mine to begin with, and I lost it, and I'm going to take my belt back in front of all those people at Comic-Con. It's destiny.
The third battle between the Crusher and the Killer, it is going to be July 20th.
If he wants to lose for a fourth time to me, bring it.
July 20th, Saturday. You can get tickets right now at theshmoedownlive.com.
No, from the wheel. From the wheel.
Hey! I was looking for you. How you doing?
The kid is good.
The kid abides. Movies.
Yeah, I got you.
I have been thinking thoughts about, we should be friends.
I thought we were cool. Yeah, we should be good. I thought we were.
But like Schmoedown friends, you know, were you so inclined, would you like to, be my partner?
Oh, you mean like a team? I got to be your partner.
A team partner, you know, yeah.
Oh.
Teams, you know, like.
I'm gonna have to think about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Of course, yeah, of course. Yeah. Oh, that's great. Yes. That's a cool thing to do.
That's cool.
Yeah, what's up, man? No, yeah, we're good. Okay. That's all right.
Yes. From the wheel.
Well, we saw that coming.
Trivia Schmoedown. I am merely Mark Baby Teratellis in the house right now here today. Danielle Radford is joining me on the desk, everyone. So happy to have you, Danielle.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
Momentous occasion for a lot of reasons because you and I, we're now veterans of announcing this thing, but we have two newcomers to the single stage.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, Haleigh Foutch versus Eric Zipper. That's our matchup today. Haleigh Foutch, she has a great track record with Scream Queens. Eric Zipper, he's been on a number of different teams, and he's been going through something of his own, but this is going to be his first singles appearance.
Right.
What is going on with Z-Man? The world wants to know.
Well, you know what's going on with Z-Man right now? He's had like crap of a year. He actually said that he wanted to take her on, which is weird because they were at one time, you know, they were put together, they were partners.
In Anarchy last year, they were put together.
And he knows how good she is. I don't know, is this his management? I don't get this choice at all because he knows that she is. This is her first singles match, but he knows that she's good and that she is someone to be feared and respected. So.
Yeah, Z-Man really just kind of, I don't know if he's getting in his own way, or you're right, if he's listening to bad advice from his manager, or he's just kind of going through his own little personal thing right now. But it's not the Eric Zipper that we first knew when he landed on the movie Trivia Schmoedown.
You know, and I don't want to talk bad about anyone. You know,
you seem concerned for him.
I just think he might be running with a bad crowd right now.
Okay, well, look, he's going to try to make a name for himself in singles, as is Haleigh Foutch, and it's not just that they're trying to get a good record or defeat their opponent. Obviously, they want to do that, but also a win here today is going to go a long way into proving that they belong in the ultimate Schmoedown tournament that's going to be happening a little bit later on this season. So I think that a win is going to give them, yes, a 1-0 record, but more importantly, it's going to give them a notch in the belt getting into that tournament possibly.
Everyone's trying to get into this tournament, and if they get in, there's no guarantees, but it definitely helps their chances of getting moved on up, like the Jeffersons, into the ultimate Schmoedown.
Sherman Hemsley's not here today, although I wish he was. May he rest in peace. One of the all-time greats. I'm not one of those, but I am going to be announcing here today with Danielle, and we got some pregame interviews, so let's hear from Z-Man and Haleigh right now.
Well, here we are. We made it. Can I finish? Sorry.
Hey guys, it's Haleigh. You know me from the Scream Queens. I've played a few events, but this is my first solo match, and I've been wanting to do it for a long time. And I'm so stoked that the person I'm playing is Zipper, my former Anarchy teammate.
Ooh, a rising star, Haleigh Foutch. Haleigh Foutch from the Scream Queens.
The crazy 80 greats try to say that 15 times. I don't know what happened. We were friends. We got along well, and then it's like when World's Finest fell apart, just like everybody else, she just abandoned me. And now here we are.
Yeah, Zipper and I go back. He was my teammate in Anarchy, and we worked together, so I got to know his weaknesses and strengths from the inside. I'm curious to see what that vibe translates to in the ring, though, because we've never played on opposite sides, and that's a whole new vibe.
Haleigh Foutch knows her stuff. She knows horror movies. She's got scary knowledge. She also scares me a little. So when we get in there, anything goes.
Kayla and I have had a really good run together in Scream Queens. I am excited and nervous not to have someone to lean on, but I just think that makes the challenge that more interesting, that more challenging.
Look, I'm gonna need you to start winning matches. I'm gonna need you to start pulling your weight in the dungeon, because I'm gonna tell you this. Then Harloff will start giving you endorsement deals. I know British Knight Sneakers, they're probably looking for a spokesman. Minute Maid, Raid, these are all things that fit you.
Look, this is my first singles. I've waited forever for it, and I'm here to make the best of it. I'm here to win. That's the goal. That's why I'm here. So, Zipper, my buddy, my friend, ideally would be a stepping stone to my greater victories.
I'm in singles now, and anyone who faces me is about to get zipped.
Cute.
Okay, well, Danielle, you see that? Again, it's just, where is Eric Zipper's head at? There seems to be a lot of people occupying that brain space for him right now, whispering in his ear, giving him advice. You don't seem to like it too much.
I don't, and again, I don't want to look. We're all on our own journeys, and I don't want to speak bad about anyone, but I don't. Some of these guys, I think, are not playing the game for fun the way it should be played. They're not playing it for fun or playing it to win. I think some of them are like genuinely playing it to be mean.
And I think Haleigh Foutch is playing it for the right reasons, because not only has she always been a big movie fan and she's been a great personality, but I think that getting some victories under her belt alongside Kaylin with Scream Queen, she has a quiet confidence about her right now that you can sense when you talk to her, because she knows what her strengths are. She knows the strategy of the game a little bit better. And I think that more so than just regular movie trivia know-how could factor into who wins here today. Who is giving Eric Zipper strategy advice going into this match? Haleigh knows how to play the game. Can Zipper keep up? We're about to find all that stuff out right now. Before we get to that, I want to go to the tail of the tape. Danielle Radford, who, what, how are these people good at anything?
All right, well, when it comes to Foutch, very good at new releases, which is mind-boggling.
Movie Talk regular, great contributor for Collider.com. She knows her new releases.
She knows her new releases, and super horror buff.
Yeah, she's a big horror fan as well, so that's a pretty good breadth. How about Eric Zipper? What's he got?
Now, for Eric Zipper, he is an expert at directors and Judd Apatow movies.
Judd Apatow is a director.
He is a director. I was going to.
I'm only giving him one string for that. We are ready to go here. Somebody's going to get their very first win in the movie Trivia Schmoedown Singles League here today.
You'll love to see it.
I feel like we're two proud parents right now.
I want to see my baby succeed.
We're going to see somebody succeed. You ready to go?
I am so ready.
Then it's time for the movie Trivia Schmoedown. I like getting to announce these things sometimes too, and getting to introduce these two competitors. Here we go. Introducing first, representing the dungeon, Eric
X-Men.
Z-Man Zipper! And that is not Eric Zipper.
Oh my God.
Player playing the X-Men theme.
And now I know what I want to be played at my wedding.
He's still Danielle's heart. This is very exciting for both of them.
This is what I'm walking down the aisle to.
But I do want to make it clear, this is not Eric Zipper. Oh, there.
Oh, there it is.
There's a Z-Man. Coming out in his Wolverine shirt. Manager Kaiser is right there. So, and Zipper's going to sit down. And this is an actual violinist in the studio that he's actually playing chords. And now Kaiser,
He has tipped him, I believe, maybe $1.
Tipped him. And
You know, Ellis, I figured I would class up the joint with a little chamber music today. Meet Rawl from the Sioux City Falls Philharmonic. Stay off. Enjoy.
All right, so Kaiser has connections with the Sioux City Philharmonic.
Yeah, you know when you love to see it. You love to see a talented, you know.
That is Rawl, and Eric
And he has
Zipper.
dropped his money.
Eric Zipper kept the tip
He
that
kept the
Kaiser
tip.
had given to
And just
Rawl.
the tip.
Just the tip for Eric Zipper. So Eric Zipper already making some sort of cash here today. That was one of the more unique, impressive intros.
You know, I almost shed a tear.
That's right. Well, Rawl now has some more money coming his way, courtesy of Miss Radford, when she does tie the knot, because he will be performing at her wedding. Tickets available on sale now. And his opponent, representing the Scream Queens, she is Haleigh Foutch. There's Haleigh.
Now, see, that's what I like to see. Someone's wearing sunglasses, but they're still smiling.
Right, a little bit of fun in the sun. Haleigh Foutch coming out. Eric going in for the handshake. Will she? Oh boy, bad blood.
I'm sorry.
The crowd does not like that. Okay, Haleigh Foutch saying she is not.
He is lighting a fire under Foutch. I don't know if that's necessarily a good idea.
Take it
It's
easy.
Never a good strategy.
All right, we're going to try to keep the animosity to a minimum here, as we do have a match to play, and I'll remind each competitor of the rules of the movie Trivia Schmoedown. Since this is your first official appearance each in a singles league match in round number 1 of 3 rounds in the match, you will each hear 8 questions. These are questions asked to the field. Each question is worth 1 point. There's no penalty for missing a question. There is no stealing in round number 1. As soon as we ask the question, you have 15 seconds to write down your best attempt at an answer on the whiteboard in front of you. As soon as we ask you by name to reveal your answer, please say your answer into the microphone at the same time you reveal what you wrote to your camera. I'll remind each competitor of your 3 usages of the JTE rule throughout the duration of the match. You're not sure you heard a question right, you need to buy yourself some time. Use the JTE rule. You also each have 1 challenge to be used throughout the duration of the match, anytime you see fit. Now that the rules have been read, I will ask the competitors, Haleigh, are you feeling confident?
Yes.
Sounds like it to me. Z-Man, you seem to have a lot going on right now with all the hubbub about your intro and going against your Anarchy teammate. You ready to play?
I'm feeling good. Let's do this.
And let's get ready to Schmoedown! All right. 8 questions, like I said, in round number 1. Your first one will be administered by Danielle X-Men Radford.
In the category of action adventure, who plays Henry Jones Sr. in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade?
Nice little opening 5-foot putt here.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you gotta...
Sean Connery.
Little point. 5, 4, 3,
It's like when your dad pitches to you.
1, and the pens are down. Haleigh.
Sean Connery?
It is, in fact, Sean Connery. Did Z-Man have it?
Sean Connery.
He's playing games with us already. 1-1, and we're off and running here. Your next category is in the world of horror/thriller. Horror thriller. And your question is, Tony Todd and Virginia Madsen star in what 1992 horror movie about a vengeful spirit who is summoned by saying his name 3 times into a mirror?
Candyman.
There were a lot of things as a kid that you would be like, oh, you do this or do that into a mirror. I never did any.
Oh, we would always do them at slumber parties. Women love horror and really creepy things.
5, 4,
Things to prepare us for the real world.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. Eric Zipper.
Candyman?
It is, in fact, Candyman.
Candyman.
It is Candyman.
Candyman.
All right. I've just been told in my ear that it's actually 5 times, not 3 times you say
5
Candyman. Did either competitor know that?
5 times.
Yeah, it's 5 times, not 3.
It came up on Movie Talk not too long ago.
Did it really? Okay,
Yeah.
well, then
There we
there
go.
you go. Beetlejuice is 3 times. Candyman, you really got to want him to show up 5
How many times is Bloody Mary?
And-
Bloody Mary is 25 times. You can say it 25 times in the mirror.
She knows. She's attempted it at home, kids. Don't try yourself. All right, 2-2. Both competitors feeling good early in the match. Next category, Danielle, is dramas. What's in store for us?
Who plays the title character in the 2017 drama Roman J. Israel Esquire?
All right, I'm going to try something. Ready? Roman J. Israel. Roman J. Israel. Roman J. Israel. Who shows up? We
Denzel
can't say.
Washington.
No Esquires here.
Who shows up? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Going to you, Haleigh.
Denzel Washington?
It is Denzel Washington.
Denzel Washington.
It is
No,
Denzel
it's
Washington.
Denzel Washington as a lawyer.
Is he going to show up?
He's come to steal all of our birthday party cupcakes.
We move on to animated movies. Movies drawn by hand or on a computer. Your question in the world of animated fare. Which Disney animated film has main characters named Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde? You're a big Disney fan, aren't you?
I do love some Disney. I like some Disney.
You go animated or live action? If I'm going to give you one kind to watch for the rest of your life.
Well, it's going to be the animated.
Okay.
But, I'm
5,
very excited to see Beyonce as a lion.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. Z-Man.
Zootopia.
It is Zootopia. Did Haleigh have it?
Zootopia.
She
There we
did.
go.
Lo and behold, we're halfway through round number 1. We have 2 perfect rounds so far. If either competitor or both competitor gets a perfect round number 1, they get all 8 questions correct. We will ask a bonus question. Danielle, what's our next category?
In the category of fantasy sci-fi, what was Gollum's original name in the Lord of the Rings films?
I'm going to go with Pete.
Yeah, it was Pete.
Just a guy named Pete.
Pete.
Yeah, just a guy who's
No, Pete.
My
creepy
precious.
Pete. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Going to you, Haleigh.
Smeagol, Pete.
It is Pete Smeagol, yes. The Zipper has.
Smeagol.
They do have Smeagol as well.
Well, I mean, Smeagol's his name, but Pete's what his friends call him.
Creepy Petey Smeagol. Okay.
Keep it Pete Smeags.
Your next category, I'm already laughing, and it's good because it's comedies. Oh, boy. Comedies. Your question. Which historical figure does Amy Adams portray in Night at the Museum, Battle of the Smithsonian? Wow.
When's the last time you went to a museum?
Oh, God.
I feel like museums are only for dates now.
Amelia
Does Dodger
Earhart.
Stadium count as a museum?
It actually kind of does.
5, 4, 3,
Wembley definitely does.
2, 1. Pens down. Z-Man, what do you have?
Amelia Earhart.
It is Amelia Earhart.
Amelia Earhart.
All right,
right.
got it.
They are neck and neck here.
Yeah, we're looking at 2 all-time performances here early on.
Well, now you know why they work so well in Anarchy, because they are, as they would say, simpatico.
It was just a shame
Well,
they
I
hate each
thought
other now.
so.
Once upon a time.
Oh.
Okay,
I
well,
don't like
it's
this.
not a family kind of match here, but we go to family films. Danielle, what's their query?
Who directed the 1985's The Goonies?
And a fan has dropped their beer. You know what that means? 10 push-ups.
We
10
need more
push-ups.
protein. We need some protein powder. Someone's gonna come on.
Richard Donner.
Protein it up.
Go to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Haleigh, who'd you come up with?
Total shot in the dark. Richard Donner.
That shot in the dark is going to pay off because that is 1 point. Did Z-Man have it as well?
Richard
He
Donner.
did.
They are just neck and neck.
Look at this.
It's almost as if someone cleaved one brain in half. It makes me so sad that they're no longer best friends, because this is they are so good and they play off of each other so well.
Yeah, they're making our job easy. All right, your last category is a Patreon question. The following question comes to us from Jake Hammer. Jake Hammer, thank you, Jake.
What a name.
One of the all-time great Schmoedown patron supporters. If you want to hear your name read on an upcoming movie trivia Schmoedown match, just check out the Schmoedown Patreon today. Select which tier is right for you. In the case of Jake the Hammer, he wanted the category of movie quotes. Movie quotes today. Things said in movies. And Jake's question. And keep in mind, if a competitor gets this one right, they do have a perfect round number one. What 2004 sports movie has the quote, "Nobody makes me bleed my own blood"? Nobody.
The audience seems to know it.
Audience giggles, likely because they're so drunk they're dropping beer bottles.
Dodgeball.
Okay, Zipper and Haleigh now writing. I want to see two perfect rounds.
I want to see two perfect rounds so bad.
The quote was said by Ben
Can
Stiller.
I repeat, please?
Certainly. What 2004 sports movie has the quote, "Nobody makes me bleed my own blood"? Nobody.
And that is using one of his JTE rules. He does have two more.
Two more. Haleigh has not used hers yet. And we don't even know if Haley's blinked because she's wearing sunglasses. Okay, seems like the answers are in. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Z-Man, what do you have?
Blades of Glory?
It is not Blades of Glory. No perfect round for Z-Man. Does Haleigh have it?
Is it dodgeball?
It is Dodgeball! A true underdog story.
And this is a true underdog story.
Both of these competitors, two great round number ones, and now Z-Man, you can take a quick smoke break because there's a bonus question just for Haleigh Foutch. Haleigh, you don't need to write this one down. You just answer it whenever you feel like you know what it is. Danielle, you may administer the bonus question at your leisure.
Which film gave Meryl Streep her most recent Oscar nomination? Ooh.
Florence Foster Jenkins.
The Iron Lady?
I would have gone with Florence Foster Jenkins, but it's The Post.
There's The Post.
The Post. Oh my God,
is
that was a movie.
The Post.
It was a movie.
Wow. Was a movie.
These are all movies.
I forgot that one right after I saw
This is
it.
the movie trivia Schmoedown.
It's actually
These are all movies.
names right there on the shield, and we move to round number 2 of this 3-round movie trivia Schmoedown match here today with the highly contested match of Haleigh Foutch 8, Eric Zipper 7. Round number 2 is upon us. This is the wheel round, the wheel of fate, doom, and justice. In round number 2, each competitor gets a spin at that there wheel. You get opponent's choice, the fan favorite, and the spinner's choice, the competitor favorite. You also have 10 categories of movie trivia know-how. Whichever one you settle on, you're going to hear 4 questions from that genre. Each question's worth 2 points. There's no penalty for missing a question. There is no stealing. There is stealing in round number 2. I was just testing you guys to see if you're awake out there, because most people tend to go to sleep when I read the rules. Anyway, you can steal. You can also ask for multiple choice. If you're not sure the answer, ask us for multiple choice. We'll give you 4 options, one of which is the correct one. At that point, the value of the question goes down to 1. Eric Zipper has 2 JT rules remaining.
Yes.
Haleigh Foutch has all 3 of hers. You also each have your challenge remaining should you need to use it. Hopefully not. Haleigh Foutch, you find yourself not only the favorite in today's match, you're also in the lead by 1. Would you like to spin the wheel first or defer to the Z-Man?
I will maintain my air of friendship and defer.
Wow.
She's trying to keep the friendship alive.
Classy Haleigh Foutch.
So here comes Zipper. And
That is an aggressive spin.
his spin, Kaiser gets in there.
I guess looking at the wheel also
That's right.
makes it do things. That is a part of management.
Kaiser
is
looking like an
steering.
assistant manager in Bad News Bears. He did not take kindly to that, Barb.
No, he really didn't like it.
All right, we're looking at maybe actors and actresses. All right. He's
Okay.
gonna take it. Not a lot of hesitation
No.
in the Z-Man. All right, Eric chose famous actors and actresses. Your first question of 4 is, who voiced the spider Charlotte in the 2006 family film Charlotte's Web?
Some errant woos.
Multiple choice.
Is it A. Sandra Bullock, B. Julia Roberts, C. Meryl Streep, or D. Helen Mirren?
Helen Mirren.
I think you guessed, and I think you got it right. That's a
That's
point
a
for
good
Zipper.
guess. All right, Kaiser in the back
are
clapping like he
tied.
did anything.
He managed. Your next question. What classic Hollywood actor directed and also starred as Davy Crockett in 1960's epic The Alamo?
John Wayne.
2 points for Z-Man, and his eyes got big like he might have been guessing that one too.
He's a good guesser.
All right, your next question, Eric. Who played Bruce Willis's wife in the 1999 film The Story of Us?
One of my favorites. Multiple choice.
Is it A, Michelle Pfeiffer, B, Meg Ryan, C, Joan Allen, D, Goldie Hawn?
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Joan Allen.
Not so lucky that time. That is incorrect. Haleigh, for the steal, your options in multiple choice. A, Michelle Pfeiffer, B, Meg Ryan, C, Joan Allen, D, Goldie Hawn.
Michelle Pfeiffer?
Give her a point.
That is a solid steal.
It's a big steal.
Still
because
has all of her JTEs left, too.
she is within one of Eric. Eric now still has one more question, but then Haleigh gets a spin at the wheel, so she could really take advantage. Eric, your last question in round number 2 in the world of famous actors and actresses that have had some acclaim and probably have an agent. Scarlett Johansson and Rebecca Hall fall for the same man in The Prestige, and what other movie?
Vicky Cristina Barcelona.
He got that one!
Wow. No hesitation, no waiting on that. He knew it off the top of his head. A huge Vicky Cristina Barcelona fan.
He was ready to go with that, and I attribute that correct answer to his manager, Kaiser, who forced him to watch Vicky Cristina Barcelona over
He
and
made me
over
watch
and
it
over again.
6 times.
6 times, and it paid off with that 2 points.
Vicky
So-
Cristina Barcelona. Vicky Cristina Barcelona.
she
Vicky
gonna
Cristina
appear?
Barcelona.
She brings Denzel.
She brings Denzel.
All right, it's 12-9. Eric Zipper in the lead, sharing a lap with Haleigh Foutch. That's what we want to see up there.
That's what we missed.
All right,
That was
Haleigh,
what we
you're
liked
up
first
at the
time.
wheel, and even though it was a nice final answer there by Zipper, he only has a 3-point lead. And Haleigh, if she gets a category that she's confident in, she could have a big lead going into round number 3. We'll see what happens. As the wheel spun,
It's a good
round and
solid
round it
spin.
goes.
Oh, but that spin gets a clap? Okay.
All right, past opponent's choice. I don't think she has to worry about that. She could get spinner's choice.
Comedy. Okay, she's gonna choose to spin again. She's gonna do another
Spinning
spin.
away from comedy, spinning away from our life profession.
It's literally the only thing that either one of us at this table cares about. It's fine. We won't take it personally until we do. Oh!
That's a big spin.
What a... This is a spin of fate.
As much as we do love our comedies, I think for Haleigh Foutch, she's a regular on Movie Talk, like we said, Collider.com, a bunch of other places you can find her writing on the latest movies, and now she has spun new releases. That is pretty impressive.
That is pretty impressive.
4 questions. Danielle would be administering your new release questions. Each one is worth 2 points.
Number 1, who plays Cassius Cash Green in the 2018 dark comedy Sorry to Bother You?
Lakeith Stanfield?
That is correct.
All right. She pulls 2 within 1 of Zipper.
Number 2, John C. Reilly and Steve Coogan shared the screen twice in 2018. One film was Stan and Ollie. What was the other?
Multiple choice.
Okay, was it A, Holmes and Watson, B, The Sisters Brothers, C, Ralph Breaks the Internet,
Holmes and
or
Watson.
D, Hot Air?
Ralph Breaks the Internet?
Incorrect. So for the steal,
Holmes and Watson?
it was Holmes and Watson. Didn't even get a chance to give him his options. He knew that one. And so now it's back to a 2-point game, Eric, except for 2 more questions to go here for Haleigh.
In game night, Michelle thought she had hooked up for a one-night stand with what celebrity?
Denzel Washington?
That is correct. What a Denzel-heavy game.
Roman J. Israel.
Roman J. Israel Esquire. Don't forget the Esquire. That's how the thing you get when you're a lawyer.
Rearing his very handsome head once again.
We said his name too many times. Every question now is going to be Denzel.
I think we had him showed up, and then we kept saying his name, so he left.
By nerds. All right. Who played King Orm in Aquaman?
Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson.
That is correct. It is not Denzel Washington.
It is not Denzel. It is Patrick Wilson, and now we have a 2-point lead going in to round number 3, the round that will decide the match. What a beautifully played, smartly played match by both these competitors, Eric Zipper and Haleigh Foutch. Zipper taking famous actors and actresses. Haleigh saying, you know what, I like comedies. I respect Danielle and Mark's life choices, but I think that I'm going to spin again. She got new releases. It certainly paid off for you. What was your read on round number 2?
These are two competitors who are clearly a match for each other. It is a darn shame that they can no longer see eye to eye or face to face, because really it is as if someone took a beautiful team and then cleaved them in twain.
Yeah, but I'm going to start to part ways with you here now, because I like the fact that Eric challenged Haleigh after watching these first 2 rounds, because this is a good match we got brewing right here, and it's about to get steamy, because in round number 3, somebody's getting a win, somebody's getting a loss, and somebody's getting a lot closer to the ultimate Schmoedown tournament. Here's how round 3 works. Each competitor is going to hear 3 questions. Your first question is worth 2 points. Your next question is worth 3 points. Your last one, should we make it that far, is worth 5 big points. Here's how we get those categories. Is you, the competitor, is going to give us a series of numbers. We need 3 numbers from each of you. These numbers can range from 1 to 20. Each number corresponds to a different category of movie, trivia, Schmoedown, know-how. Your first question is worth 2 points. Your next one's worth 3 points. Last one is the 5 point. All right, so Haleigh, you have a 2-point lead over Eric Zipper, which allows you to pick your lucky numbers first. What feels fortunate?
10, 13, 17.
10, 13, and
Okay,
7.
sticking with the 17, I believe.
17?
Yeah.
17. All
Sticking
right.
with the double digits.
That's right, all double digits. Does Eric match the bold strategy and go all single digits?
7, 12, and 3.
He said no. All right, Eric. Because you are in a 2-point hole, losing to Haleigh currently, you're going to get yours 2-pointer first. You selected number 7. And your 2-point question to be administered by Miss Radford in the category of?
Brad Pitt.
Ooh, I like him.
I like him. He
too.
seems like a nice boy. Who plays the double-crossing casino owner, Willie Bank, in Ocean's 13?
Andy Garcia. I think it's Andy
Al
Garcia.
Pacino.
That is correct.
All right.
Pacino, 4 points on the board.
We are back to tie. And now Haleigh steps up to the plate. Okay, Haleigh. 10 is the number you selected for your 2-point question. And that corresponds to Angelina Jolie.
Oh.
All right. And your question is, who provides the voice of Master Shifu, the trainer for the martial arts masters in the Kung Fu Panda franchise?
Dustin Hoffman.
Give her 2 points and give her the lead once again. As we go back to Eric Zipper for his 3-pointer, Eric, against my advice, went double digits and chose 12.
It's gonna suck if I get this wrong now.
So 12 for
Okay.
your 3-point question.
For 3 points, in the 2015 comedy Unfinished Business...
Oh, the category is 2000.
sorry. The category is 2010s. In the 2015 comedy Unfinished Business, Vince Vaughn goes on a memorable business trip with his 2 employees. Name one of them. I'm sweating a little bit.
I just know the actors.
Some of that confidence is starting to drain out.
This is getting tense.
Frank Langella was one of the actors,
I'm starting to go into his head.
and the other one was
Repeat the question.
In the 2015
Was,
comedy
Dave
Unfinished
Franco.
Business, Vince Vaughn goes on a memorable business trip with his 2 employees. Name one of them.
the 2 actors are Frank Langella and Dave Franco. I don't know their characters' names.
This
I don't know if that. Maybe that's actually the answer they're looking for.
Okay, gonna go to 5, 4.
Repeat the question.
That's his last JTE rule.
In the 2015 comedy Unfinished Business, Vince Vaughn goes on a memorable business trip with his 2 employees. Name one of them.
5.
Michael Cera.
Incorrect.
That is incorrect. We were
Either
looking
Dave
for...
Franco or Tom Wilkinson.
Oh, Tom
Yeah.
Wilkinson.
I totally forgot that was an actual movie.
a hard question.
And
I
Yeah, that's a very
100%
hard
forgot about
question.
that.
on his second JTE rule, you reread it, and I was like, oh, I have seen that movie.
Oh, you did?
It had its moments.
I forgot about it.
All right, well, nobody's going to forget about this match because this has been an all-timer here, and it could elevate itself even higher if Eric Zipper is somehow able to hit his 5-pointer and force the hand once again of Haleigh Foutch. Eric, I believe you selected number 3 for your 5-point question. And
Okay.
Danielle, what category did he get stuck with?
That is in the category of rom-coms.
Boy.
Rom-coms.
I'll be fine, RB3. I'll be fine.
Okay. A little bit of that armor starting to crack. In The Big Sick, Kumail Nanjiani plays himself. Who plays his girlfriend/wife, Emily Gardner?
Zoe Kazan.
That is correct.
Okay.
5 points.
Nice.
Kumail is a nice boy.
He's not going to let Haleigh off the hook that
Emily
easy. So now Haleigh is really going to have 2 chances here. She can tie it with her 3-pointer, but we know Haleigh, we know she wants to do more than just tie it. She wants to win this thing. So Haleigh, for your 3-pointer, you selected number 13,
Yes.
and that corresponds to the world of fantasy science fiction. And your question for 3 points to tie Zipper. Who plays the villainous Mr. Barron in 2016's Miss
Samuel
Peregrine's
Jackson.
Home for Peculiar Children?
Samuel L. Jackson. Sam Jackson.
You go 5, 4, 3,
Repeat the question.
2. I can do that. Who plays the villainous Mr. Barron in 2016's Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children?
Samuel L. Jackson?
We are tied at 20.
We are tied. MFer. No, Samuel L. Jackson.
Sam Jackson has been summoned through a mirror in the bathroom here at the studio. And in the meantime, we just have one of the best matches of the year brewing because it is 20 to 20. Eric Zipper, Haleigh Foutch. The only difference being Haleigh Foutch still has a question remaining.
And 2 of her JTE rules.
If she gets this one right, Haleigh Foutch wins and has a very convincing 1-0 record to Eric Zipper's what would be an 0-1 record. If Haleigh misses this, we go into sudden death overtime. All right, Haleigh, so for your 5-pointer, you selected number 17. And Doug Williams' number corresponds to Disney movies. Disney movies. And your question for 5 points. In the film Moana, what is the name of the goddess that has her heart stolen by Maui? Five, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question, please.
In Moana, what is the name of the goddess that has her heart stolen by Maui? Count you down. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Use that last repeat, please.
All right, last JT rule.
Last one.
In Moana, what is the name of the goddess that has her heart stolen by Maui? She can't conjure the answer in the next 7 seconds. 5, 4, 3,
Let's take this to sudden death.
2.
All right,
Looking
look at
forward
the
to
comments.
Tafiti.
Sudden death.
Tafiti
Tafiti.
is the answer. All right, so
What was it?
Tafiti. Tafiti.
Tafiti.
That's a tough one. That's a tough.
That is a tough
That's a tough
one.
5 point.
Sweep the leg.
All right, so Kaiser giving some very timely advice from 1984's Karate Kid to Eric Zipper, which is not actually going to play into this match because we're just still doing movie trivia. Although it is sudden death, here's how the rules work. It's going to play out very similar to round number 1, except the stakes have exponentially grown. We're going to ask a question up here at the answer desk to the field, and you write down your best attempt at an answer on the whiteboard. Once we ask you by name to reveal your answer, show us what you wrote. At the same time, you verbalize it into the microphone. If you both get it right, then we move on to another question. If you both get it wrong, we move on to another question. But should one of you get a correct answer and the other one not, the correct answerer is the winner of today's match. Do you all understand the sudden death rules as I have read them to you?
Yes.
All right, and I'd like to point out that was not with the aid of a teleprompter. All right, so as we move on to sudden death, Danielle and I are going to take turns asking questions. We're not going to tell you the category that the question is in, just so you all know.
Great.
Just going with
Cool.
the movie question. All right, your first question. In overtime sudden death, who plays Sacha Baron Cohen's brother in The Brothers Grimsby? It's just such a different kind of game when you don't.
I only ever seen The Brothers Grimm.
Having a random movie trivia come at you. It's been a while since we've had an overtime match, and these things really get you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Going to you first, Haleigh. What was your answer?
It's wrong. Steve Coogan.
Okay. Did Eric Zipper have it?
Mark Strong!
And your winner in overtime, Eric Seaman Zipper has defeated Haleigh Foutch in what I would consider to be a classic
Classic match.
act. That is wrong. He just got tipped again, probably by the same money that was tipped to him initially.
I'm pretty sure that's just that fake money where you pick it up and it's just a realtor's face in the middle reminding you that you can buy a house that you can't afford because this isn't real money.
Well, look, if these matches were some sort of monetary value, we'd both be buying a mansion in Malibu off it, because what a competitive, down-to-the-wire, sudden death epic
Amazing.
this was by two new competitors to the single scene. Danielle, what's your review of Haleigh and Eric now being in the world of the Schmoedown Singles League?
Well, Eric Zipper, obviously, he came in and he knew that he was confident. He had his people around him. I feel like there were a few times where his confidence did start to slip because you cannot overlook Haleigh. Haleigh is an amazing competitor. I'm very much looking forward to seeing what she does in the future. This is one of those scores where it is deceptive. It is deceptive to say, you know, it's a 0-1 or a 1-0 because this came down to the wire.
Past the wire.
Past the wire.
Straight to overtime.
To the limit,
redlining
to
it.
the wall.
What a matchup it was. An interview with Eric Z-Man Zipper, the winner, and the loser, Haleigh Foutch, is imminent with our own Jen Sturger. Jen, take it away.
Oh, Haleigh, I thought you had that.
Me too.
The minute you landed on new releases, I was like, it is over. Because that's what you do for a living.
I know, but I missed one. I don't know. That was a really, really painful loss. That stings.
Were you surprised he hung on and it took it to sudden death?
No. I think Zipper's super smart and a really good player, and I wasn't underestimating him at all. I'm just frustrated with myself.
Why? Well, what struck out to you the most in that match?
It's just like how close I was to having a perfect match, and then missing a couple really that chafes. I mean, the thing that like is killing me is like I guess I need to watch more terrible comedies, which is not something I ever want to do. But those are the ones
You gotta
I miss.
embrace the bro comedies if you're gonna land on comedy.
I've never seen either of those films, the Holmes and Watson or the Brothers Grimsby. So I need to go watch the 5% on Rotten Tomatoes comedies.
You know, it's just sometimes it's about finding what your blind spots
Yeah,
are and
that
filling
is
in those
a big
gaps.
one, I
you know? Smoke a bowl and and watch some terrible comedy.
It would help
Hopefully
me.
you retain something.
Yes, and it will help me get over this self-rage I'm processing right now.
But you know what? Looking past that, you and the Scream Queens, you guys are in. You two are in the tournament, the teams tournament. How are you feeling about that?
Great. I'm super excited. I thought our last match was our strongest yet, and I'm feeling, I'm pissed at myself right now because I didn't win this, but I feel like I performed really well. So I feel good about it.
I see lots of bro comedies in your future as you prep for this teams match.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh,
I'll suck it up.
You'll get them next.
Stupids.
You'll get them next time, all right?
Yeah, exactly. Thanks
See
so
you
much.
again. And we are back with Eric Zipper and his manager Kaiser. Eric, you find yourself in the singles tournament now. You're all smiles. How you feeling?
I feel good. I was a little nervous there towards the end, but weirdly enough, Brothers Grimsby saved me. I even looked that movie up yesterday because I was like, this is exactly the kind of dumb movie that's going to come up.
I was like, why were you looking that movie up yesterday?
Yeah. Merc Strong isn't everything, so I just had to be sure.
Kaiser, you've got to be feeling pretty good about this.
I'm going to tell you, unbelievable. I mean, when he hit overtime, I haven't been that nervous since I got caught shoplifting at the Disney store. But I got to tell you, he pulled through, and corruption, huh? They kicked this kid to the curb. They didn't want anything to do with Eric Zipper, huh? I guess one man's trash is another manager's faction member. So, welcome to the dungeon.
Did you just call me trash?
I'm proud of you, kid.
Alright, either way, I am feeling good about being in the dungeon. Since I've been in the dungeon, I've been winning, so, something's going right.
What are you guys doing in the dungeon that's creating these kind of results?
Well, Jen, that's classified.
Maybe I don't want to know the answer.
That's classified information, but how about this? We're going to leave you with some outro music because we've got more work to do. He's a star now.
Okay, good luck in the singles tournament.
Danielle, you see obviously a very excited Zipper. Getting a little bit more insight into what exactly his strategy has been, courtesy of Kaiser, his manager, as well as him. But Haleigh Foutch, I don't think she's lost any confidence playing in a matchup like this. It goes to sudden death, and it's the luck of the question, it's the luck of the category, and it happened to break Z-Man's way, not Haleigh's way. But I think that she's got a bright future competing in the singles league.
Absolutely. I cannot wait to see what both of these competitors do next. At this point, there is a possibility that Zipper might be going forward into Ultimate Schmoedown, but I cannot wait to see what Haleigh comes up with next, because she is an amazing competitor, and anyone who battles against her, they better be prepared and not take her lightly.
I don't care who you are in the movie Trivia Schmoedown, Ultimate Schmoedown Tournament, you don't want to see Zipper or Haleigh on the other side of that table, because you are about to get a matchup for the ages. Thank you all for tuning in to this edition of the movie Trivia Schmoedown. For Danielle Radford, I am Mark Baby Carrots Ellis, reminding you to check out the Patreon, the movie Trivia Schmoedown Patreon. Select which tier is right for you today, and in audio form, you can get us wherever you get your podcast. Thanks to our good friends at Haleigh for all the help that they provide day in and day out around this place. And how about a big hand, at least from me and Danielle, to all of our hardworking crew here. What a great, just the best group of guys and gals you could possibly ask for, helping us out behind the scenes and making this thing possible. And the biggest thank you to all of our fans out there watching us, and maybe just as big of a thank you to Raul, whose actual name is Seth, and he is a very accomplished violinist, and we have a link to his music you can check out in this vid's description. For that, we're going to say thank you, good night, and we need a nap.
Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the match, and want to let you know before you go, I talked about Collider Live up top.
Well, that was a really good match. I'm back doing reactions now after a bit of a hiatus because had some app difficulties finding a good reaction app, but I re-downloaded my old one that I used for the entirety of me doing reactions, and it looks like it's back up working again, so I'm happy about that. But congrats to Zipper, solid win. Haleigh, man, you played really well. Can't ever be ashamed. You took the match in the sudden death, so tough loss. But can't wait to see the Scream Queens back again in the teams tournament. If you like my reactions, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, Christopher Woodburn. You can find me on Twitter, ChrisWoodburn83, Facebook, Christopher Michael Woodburn. So until next time, Mr. Boy C-Dub, peace.